Hello everyone, this is Mr. Review with another review. I know it's been a while. This is for a Mate 20X 5G. Why the 5G, you say? I don't fucking know, because the 20X wasn't available in the UK. It was only the 5G model. But the price was the thing that kind of attracted me. I'm going to talk over the video as I'm doing it. I'm doing a few comparisons with video quality, Mate 20X, Mate 10 Pro, and a good old Samsung S6, which I still own, even though I dropped it in the toilet after I had a shit. It fell out of my pocket as I flushed the toilet into the bowl when my poo was flushing down the toilet. So that's a story for another day, but you will see it still works, just the battery doesn't hold its charge very well and it won't charge up through the USB port. But anyway, that's the 20X 5G. This coming up is the Mate 10 Pro, and then it'll be the Samsung S6, and that'll be the same with some of the camera still pictures that I also take, which will come up shortly. So going back to the Mate 20X 5G, it was $699, but Huawei at the moment, I think it's finished now actually, we're doing a £200 cashback. You have to claim it through Huawei, so when I get that back, this phone will have cost me $499. And considering it was $999 when it came out in June 2019, that's half price. And in anybody's money, that is a fucking bargain. I wanted a bigger phone than the Mate 10 Pro from a screen size point of view, and one that's a bit more powerful, because I've noticed all I tend to use my phones for is YouTube and emulating. And there was a couple of games on one of the emulators that the Mate 10 Pro was struggling on. Screen size was okay, but it did struggle a little bit. So I'll just come back to that later. If anyone can see any difference in those three 4K video shots, then you've got bloody good eyesight, or better eyesight than me. So I couldn't really see much of a difference in any of those three video shots. Now I'm just doing this in our back garden. Camera shots, there you go. Mate 20X is 40 megapixel, Mate 10 Pro is 20 megapixel, and the S6 is 16 megapixel. And again, I can't really see a huge difference in these normal daytime shots. I'm not going to do the normal YouTube tech head thing of wandering around the streets of London and taking shots at the dusk and the dawn and super macro and zooming. We all know phones have improved dramatically over the last 2 or 3, 4 years with those points of view in mind. I think the majority of people like me take pictures like this, well, maybe not of flowers, but take daytime pictures, maybe some slightly darker pictures, and they all look exceptionally good. Now, I did notice that the Mate 20X, particularly with the sky, was the most natural out of the three, which is unusual because Huawei have got a bit of a name for themselves as for over-bluing skies. That's the 20X. That's the 10 Pro. It didn't show up so much on that one, but the Mate 10 Pro kind of put a false blue on the sky, and that S6 is a bit grey. That's a lot lighter than the sky actually was. So the Mate 20X was a bit more natural. A couple of shots under the pedals of my car. Mate 20X was first. This is the Mate 10 Pro, not quite so sharp. And the S6 did struggle a bit, but as we said, you know, camera phones have improved dramatically when it comes to slightly darker pictures. And this is one of the reasons why I bought this phone. I'll talk over this while I'm doing it. I'm just showing you a few of the ports. But again, this was recorded on my Samsung S6, so you can see the comparison between the two Huawei's, the size-wise anyway, and the quality-wise for the Samsung S6 is still bloody good. Obviously, it hasn't got the zoom that the Huawei's, particularly the Mate 20X, has got, or the Mate 10. So, you know, as I said, phones have improved dramatically. So this is the 5G, really nice colour. It's like an emerald green colour. There's a funny little grain on the back of it, so it's still a sleepy phone. Don't get me wrong. You can just kind of make it out a little bit there. I'll scratch the phone in a minute, but I've muted the sound so you can't hear it. Oh, you might have heard it there. So there's a slight grain to it, but I always put my phones in cases anyway. Did come with a screen protector on, but I'll get a tempered glass screen protector soon because it ain't very good, to be honest. And there's your old Mate 10 Pro. Now, Mate 10 Pro is a 6-inch screen. Mate 20X is 7.2. All's well, as it looks at the moment. And that gives you an idea of the size. Now, like your mum, anybody would like anything a little bit bigger than what she's already got, which is why she rings me up. And I'll just, a bit like your mum, I'll just turn it on, push the buttons, and start to get her started. So there you go. You can see, again, a bit like your mum, the Mate 10 Pro's got a bit of a big forehead and a bit of a big chin, but she's still a bit of a beast, bit of a goer. But you'll see when I put a YouTube video on, the comparison between the two sizes of the screen. That forehead and that chin, it really makes that Mate 10 Pro screen look small in comparison. Now, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", so what's that? That's about average, maybe an inch or so more than average. And I haven't got particularly big hands, which is quite a good job, really, because my dick isn't particularly big, so it doesn't make it feel too small or look too small when I'm holding it. But the Mate 20X, people moan about it saying, oh, it's too big, it's too big. It's not too big. I've got medium-sized hands, and it doesn't feel big at all. Initially it did, I have to be honest. Initially I thought, oh, that's a bit of a chunk. Once you've held it for about 30 seconds, and you then go back and hold the Mate 10 Pro, which again isn't a small phone in its own right, it felt tiny. It was really weird. It's how quickly I got used to the size of the Mate 20X. I'm just going to pop a YouTube video on so you can see the difference between the two screens. So Mate 10 Pro, 6-inch screen. Okay, it's got a bezel on either side, or top and bottom, or left and right at the moment. I'll pop the same video on both, and we will see. I'll zoom them both out to fill the screen, but obviously you never get rid of those bezels off the Mate 10 Pro. However, there's no bezels on the top and bottom of the screen, and look at the difference in size. That gives you a better idea of how much more screen that you've got on the Mate 20X. And this is why, one of the reasons why I bought the phone was because of YouTube. Now you see it, now you don't. So that's the comparison between the two. And then I'll do just do a bit more filming on the bit later on in the evening when I got home. I'm not going to show any games because they're all emulated. There is a sort of weird legality of it. Not that I'm all that fussed, because my channel isn't monetized, but you can see on the top of my screen I've got the PPS SPP Gold left hand side. There you go. FPSC for the PS1 games next to it. I've recently popped on the Redream emulator for Sega Dreamcast and the SNES emulator, and that's the other thing that I use my phone for now. Again, nothing wrong with the Mate 10 Pro, but it did struggle on a couple of games. One of them was Legend of Legaia, I think it was called. I like playing late 90s, early 2000s old school games. It's kind of the age I am. And I'm just going to pop another YouTube video on this one. I think report of the week. Yeah, he's eating one of his pizzas as usual. And again, when you zoom it out, makes it really nice viewing size. Now again, I've recorded this in 4K 30 FPS, which is why you're getting that wavy stuff on the screen. I probably should have recorded it in 1080 on 60 FPS, but hey ho. But that's the report of the week. That is my review of the Mate 20X 5G. As I said earlier, there's no reason why I got 5G, but it's the only phone that I could get in the UK, and at the price I paid for it, it is an absolute steal. So that is about it, folks. As always, thank you all for watching. Take care, and I won't see you, but you'll see me next time in the next video.